Welcome back, YouTubers, to our TNA Final Resolution preview of us, none other than the British Fist. Ka-ching, indeed, the soft touch there. Subscribe up above, like this video, and comment any thoughts you have going into TNA's final pay-per-view of the year down in the comment section below.
And make sure you contact us in the links in the description box below.
Do you know what, NJ? I'm Mr. Parkin, you're NJ. Yeah, okay, I keep forgetting. Yeah, you do the what's up.
What's up?
That is one of the reasons why many of you guys tune in to see NJ do the what's up. That's considered a draw, NJ. How do you feel? You're a draw.
Oh, yes, son. It's going to be... No one else can do it. No one else.
Yeah, we're going to copyright that. So if anyone else does it, we're going to sue like American people do. So yes, so Final Resolution, TNA's final pay-per-view of the year. Your thoughts going into this pay-per-view?
Again, I said this in the video before the Go-Home show. I just don't think this is going to be the it's going to have good matches, but I don't think it's the biggest feel to it.
I think, to be honest, looking at the card looks really good, in my opinion. I mean, looking at the card, I would sit there thinking, you know, damn, this looks like a big pay-per-view. I mean, this is TNA's final pay-per-view of the year. They're going to want to go out with a bang. I think TNA lately have been in the kind of mindset that their pay-per-views are very secondary now. They're getting rid of a lot of pay-per-views now. So I think they're getting in the mindset that the filler pay-per-views like this are quite secondary. And it has shown in the TV show with the Champions Thursday, the gut check concept, the open fight now concept. They're trying to get that rating up because, let's face it, TNA's business model is entirely focused around that rating. And if they have to put their pay-per-view second, they will do. But I will say this, despite the fact that the build hasn't been like great for this pay-per-view, the matches on paper still look pretty good.
I'm going to say that these matches, most of them when we get into them, I'm looking forward to them. It's just obviously when you look at the build, the shows you're actually watching, they blow stuff either on the TV shows or the build hasn't really delivered. The only thing that really delivered in this build was the Go-Home show, in my opinion.
Indeed. So we'll start off this with the X Division Championship match. Rob Van Dam versus Kenny King. Kenny King won that #1 contendership match on the Go-Home show, so this will definitely open the show, in my opinion.
It's had the least build. Obviously, they've not really had the best concentration on the X Division for some time. The fact they're putting Kenny King there, it's like Rob Van Dam hasn't got a feud going, so they have to put someone there just for the match and the title to be on the line. Kenny King are favourites to be in this match, but he's not really had the build up with Rob Van Dam to be in this match.
He's been put in there very last minute, and I think it's mainly because RVD has already beaten Kid Cash. He's already beaten Zima. There's not really that many options in the X Division, and right now, I think Kenny King would be the best option to get this belt. Is he going to win it from RVD? No, I don't think he will win the belt. But you would have thought with the belt round Rob Van Dam, they would at least want to try and give him some kind of feud. I thought that was the reason they were giving him the X Division Championship, but they really haven't done that, and it's a real shame.
To be honest, the guy that beats Rob Van Dam's going to get a good push from it because someone's actually beat Rob Van Dam. But I don't think the TNA have actually planned who's going to beat Rob Van Dam. I think they're just going to put people against him, and all of a sudden, when they think he's had a long enough reign, lose it to someone.
You never know. He may take that championship into the Destination X and win the World Heavyweight Championship. Who really knows? I would hope King wins here, but I don't think it's going to happen. Maybe I hope King wins the title down the line. I don't think it'll be here, though. Not enough build for him to win the championship. The Tag Team Championship match. Chavo Guerrero and Hernandez versus Matt Morgan and Joey Ryan. You know, Matt Morgan and Joey Ryan formed that alliance at Bound for Glory, and while you may say that, you know, Matt Morgan obviously being there is a bit of a downfall, which is correct, because he said he was going after the World Heavyweight, and now he's back in the tag team. They've done that a lot with Matt Morgan. But right now, TNA's tag team division, much like their X division, there's not really many tag teams there, so you didn't really have that many options, really. And Morgan and Joey Ryan are a logical alliance to go for the tag team championships that are heel.
Well, we mentioned the X division. Joey Ryan's quickly moved away from that and concentrating now on the tag. Are they going to quickly move him away from that, or are they going to get the win on this pay-per-view? The other thing is, Matt Morgan, again, I think they've got a future idea for him, but they're obviously going at a slow pace because the main event's already wrapped up with all these other things. So I'm looking at this match thinking, okay, it's to give him something to do. And you've got two similar tag teams. You've got Hernandez, like Matt Morgan, Chavo, like Joey Ryan. So this match, I think it's going to be pretty good performance here. And I'm looking forward to it.
It should be a good match. I'm liking the fact that they're at least involving Matt Morgan in something. He's not just like doing nothing like, say, for example, James Storm is right now going into this pay-per-view. But I see Hernandez and Chavo Guerrero retaining, but I see Joey Ryan eating the pin. But I hope at some point in this match we see Matt Morgan making a big impact, whether it be knocking someone out like Hernandez, causing a DQ. I really think this should be more about Matt Morgan than the Tag Team Championships, because personally the Tag Team Championships have become kind of secondary ever since Kaz and Daniels lost them, really.
Well, I'm going to be a little bit different here, just because, again, agreeing with stuff doesn't really add much to our video. So I'm going to do a little disagreement here, and I think we're going to get new tag team champions, because one, we don't really have any other tag teams to face Chavo and Hernandez, so who else could beat them for the champions? We haven't really got anyone else to do that. So I'm going to say we're going to get new tag team champions. Yes, I want to see Morgan higher in the tag team championships, but for now, while the main event is being wrapped up with all these other wrestlers, Morgan needs something to do with him as the champion and continuing a feud with Chavo and Hernandez. Good win there.
So that's a very bold prediction there, NJ. And one other thing I've noticed on this card is there are no gimmick matches. It's all singles matches. There are no gimmick matches. Do you reckon they'll save all the gimmick matches for the TV show?
I think the gimmicky matches should be for other pay-per-views, especially.
Ones, yeah.
So I think for now we're okay, but some of these could have maybe had a gimmick, but yes.
The TNA Knockouts Championship is Terra versus Mickie James. This would normally be a good match. Mickie James has just come back from the injury and everything like that, which is nice and everything. But Tara's character has really declined ever since she had formed that alliance with Jessie Goddess of Bound for Glory. It should still be a good match, but I just wonder where Tara's character is going to go from here, being the Knockouts champion. Whether it might be worth just getting the belt off her and onto Mickie James.
Tara, I'm glad she's a heel again. I don't really agree with the way they did it, because it didn't really feel impactful. But against Mickie James, again, Mickie James is going to make this match better than what it already is. Mickie James back in the title picture. I don't really see which way it's going to go, because it could go either way and have good thing leading on after the pay-per-view. Mickie James' return, it would be good for her to win the championship. Tara, maybe they're going to be saving something for bigger down the line, especially when we had Velvet Sky wanting a match. So Tara versus Velvet could be the way to go after this match.
So while the build has been a little bit underwhelming, it should still be a good match, but you think they're definitely going to be building to something to do with Velvet Sky down the line? You think that's why she returned on the Go Home show, and the focus wasn't really on the pay-per-view match?
I really don't want to see Mickie James and Velvet. I think it's going to be Tara and Velvet. Just maybe Tara's not as a big of a draw as Mickie, but I think that would be the best way to go.
Especially going into Genesis, which is one of TNA's biggest pay-per-views, the first one of January of 2013, which no doubt this pay-per-view will do a lot to lead into, I feel. The next match we're going to talk about, which should really be a big match, but really doesn't feel like a big match because it was kind of like done at the last minute, is Kurt Angle and Samoa Joe, Wes Briscoe and Garrett Bischoff versus the Aces and Eights in an 8-man tag match. You imagine Devon will be there, Doc will be there, Armbreaker will be there, there'll be some other person there. I don't think this is going to be about the match. I think this personally is going to be more about the Angle advancement. Is there going to be something to do with Wes Briscoe? Is there going to be something to do with Garrett Bischoff and the Aces and Eights? I think that's more what the intrigue of this match is, and they're going to try and do this at the pay-per-view, I would imagine.
When it comes to pay-per-views and the Aces and Eights, they either get the reveal or something big up, like a big attack or something. This match will either end with the Aces and Eights not going by the rules and just laying out the faces, or we're going to have two of the faces team, or at least one of them, turning on their team, giving the Aces and Eights the win. So in this match, I'm expecting it to be probably, again, what TNA are good at doing. TNA overpound the Aces and Eights, but then the Aces and Eights getting the upper hand to finish the match. So I'm going to say the Aces and Eights to pick up the win.
We did a video. We're going to put out a video on Monday about the Aces and Eights really lacking steam in our opinion. So I think this is a really important time that TNA try and reinvigorate something into this storyline, which in my opinion is slowly dragging along. So hopefully they do something big and something revealing here to do with the Aces and Eights angle, because right now it's really kind of dwindling down my interest at the moment.
And let's say we go with the Wes Briscoe and Garrett being members of the Aces and Eights, that's two members taken away down. So it looks like they're moving the storyline a bit faster by revealing two members. If it's only just one's good enough, at least it's progression to something. At the pay-per-view, there will be no survivors. The Aces and Eights will show TNA what we're made out of, and believe me, you will not want to miss this match. Beware, worthless mortals.
One final time they said at the Destination X 2011 pay-per-view. One last time they said at Bound for Glory 2011. And then a year later they're still involved in a feud. And apparently at Final Resolution we're going to have it one more time, one final time. It's none other than AJ Styles versus Christopher Daniels. You know, I guess we know the match is going to be good, but me personally, it's got to a point where I've seen this match so many times that I'm not going to watch it because there's nothing new they can do here. There's nothing groundbreaking they can do. I will say this though, before you go on to your thoughts, I think this match should not. I think this match should be about advancing AJ Styles' character. The fact that he's not getting the title shot, I feel that this match should be about advancing AJ Styles' character. Really, even though it should be a good match, but I'm not going to watch it.
If I was to do the advanced character storyline all the way, I'd have Daniels actually beat AJ to frustrate AJ that he's lost to Daniels, even though TNA seem to have so much love for AJ. I wouldn't be surprised if he gets the win. But I think to make this match different than the past matches, to give AJ something to be angry about, to probably the heel turn, is have him lose to Daniel for once. Daniel to have a big ego and for Daniel to get a push after that. Because I really think this is the time when AJ should be going off somewhere else for the next year.
Oh yeah.
And Daniels, again, as much as he's in a tag team, maybe he should go off and do something else too.
They need to get these two away from each other. They've been feuding for way too long now. The dynamic is, I know they have good chemistry and everything, but there's nothing new here. So I'd say, look, just even if you have Daniels win, don't let these guys face off again. Don't have them interact again. Have this be the final time. And let's face it, if Christopher Daniels wins, what a surprise that will be to everyone that knows exactly the pay-per-view results and all the facts and all the figures.
We do need surprise. Like I say in WWE pay-per-views, we do need at least one big surprise at each pay-per-view. And I think with Daniels being AJ in a way that you wouldn't expect would be good. But I think this is going to be probably one of the great matches, obviously, AJ can put on. Daniels getting the win would make it even better. Let's just see what the pay-per-view offers.
Yeah, I just think it'll be more about AJ Styles' character, which is what I think this should be about, but that's just me going into a big 4 pay-per-view like Genesis. So the semi-main event, we believe, will be Bully Ray versus Austin Aries, simply because of the fact that this has been... The Aces and Eights haven't really been a big angle lately. It's mainly been about Bully Ray and the whole Brooke Hogan thing and the Hogan thing. But this should be a good... I mean, last time we saw these two face off, they had a very good match. Austin Aries was the face and Bully Ray was the heel. Now it's the other way round. I still think it could be a good match. Do I like the storyline? Not too much, but it's built into a good match. So I don't know.
If I forget about the Brooke Hogan, well, Hogan could be good, because obviously the new heel in Aries going against the boss could be good. Bully Ray as a face but with an attitude, I think he could still play a strong part in this. With this match being repeated, I think this would be a great match again, great performance. Maybe they'll continue the story following this match. Who would I like to win? I would like Bully Ray to win, to obviously have the feud maybe come to a point where I beat you now, because Aries beat him last time. Do you want to give Bully Ray a chance? Yes. I think there should be more to this than just this match.
Yeah, I personally think this match will be more about the angle. I think the focus isn't really going to be on the match. It's going to be more on the angle. Maybe they're going to have Brooke Hogan come down to the ring, distract someone. As for who's going to win, I don't really know. I think either one could win, and this feud could continue in various different dynamics. So it really just depends what TNA have going forward, going from A to B, and really who wins. But so I don't really know who's going to win. But if this goes for a good 10 to 15 minutes, this could be a very good match, despite the fact that obviously Bully Ray is a lot better as a heel. But the dynamics work because he's still a babyface with attitude. So
I think this is going to be, if it goes well, one of my favourite matches.
And then we move on to the main event, which in my opinion doesn't really feel like the main event. Jeff Hardy versus Bobby Roode. It kind of feels like to me feels like a CM Punk mid-card title being put into the main event. The way they featured this Jeff Hardy versus Bobby Roode match, it's been second fiddle to the Aces and Eights, then it's been second fiddle to this Hogan storyline with Brooke Hogan. So to me, this even though it's in the main event, which I believe it should be, kind of feels like a mid-card title defense for Jeff Hardy. And it's really strange, isn't it? After how they give him this big win at Bound for Glory, and they're like, this could be the next big guy for TNA, the next big draw. How he's kind of had a mid-card title reign, like kind of similar to CM Punk.
Even though he's going against who is now one of our top heels, being Roode, it's going to be good for that purpose. Obviously, Roode thinking he's the best, he deserves the championship back, and Jeff Hardy wanted to prove himself against every challenge he gets. This match, I think, could be quite strong. Yes, you could say it's missing a storm in this match. You could say that it's a match that could be a one-off, but I think this match, especially following that number one contenders that was taken away from James Storm, it's a bit of a shame, but I think for Jeff Hardy, he should do good.
Yeah, I mean, it's funny to think that these guys nearly a year ago faced off at Genesis, and they faced off a couple of times, and generally they've had pretty good matches. So I think this again should be another good, solid match on this card. It doesn't really feel like a main event, but I feel an important point to bring up here could be James Storm isn't booked. So you have to feel he's going to have either some influence in the AJ Styles Daniels match with the whole Daniels dynamic, or he's going to have some kind of involvement in the main event. Do you feel this could be a critical factor to deciding the outcome of this main event?
Either Storm's going to be in a throw-in match against Kazarian, just so Kazarian's at the pay-per-view and it continues a match in a way, or he will be at ringside for the main event, just so he could be there to face the next challenger, which, if, let's say, Rude gets the championship, yes, it's Rude versus Storm again, but it still takes away from face versus face. So I think, and they teased the feud continuing between Rude and Storm, but they didn't actually follow it up. But if I had to pick a winner, I think the fact that Jeff Hardy is still newish to the belt and there's still probably more story to this, I think Jeff Hardy will retain.
I think Jeff Hardy will retain, and I think the biggest story really will be, will they have him retain at Genesis, because they still haven't agreed a contract with him yet, and if he doesn't have a career contract and he does want to go to WWE, they're going to have to make him drop the belt at Genesis. Now, I believe this could be a perfect time to bring in a James Storm and have him win the belt. If you're going to have Jeff Hardy maybe leave the company, I'm not saying he's going to, I'm just saying if he leaves the company, the perfect person to give the belt to, in my opinion, would be James Storm, even though his character has kind of degraded a little bit. But that's just my opinion on that whole thing.
Even though I could see either one winning, because the Rude could win it and then go against Storm again, Jeff Hardy will win to obviously build himself in the pay-per-view, but with the performance of these wrestlers and the face and the heel, it could be a good match.
So on paper, in my opinion, this should have some pretty good matches, in my opinion, in terms of the in-ring action and all that kind of stuff. Hopefully some angles will be forward along to Genesis, which will be happening in the first part of 2013 in January. So I think overall we have even if the build-up hasn't been brilliant because of the concentration on the TV show and the need for ratings after that 0.77 they got, the lowest in 5 years, I still think this could be a solid pay-per-view card.
So let's hope for the best for TNA's last pay-per-view of the year.
Indeed, and put your thoughts and comments on this last pay-per-view of the year for TNA down in that comment section below.
And for Mr. Parkin, I'm me Enjoy.
Enjoy. I enjoy. Yes, there you go. Go on.
Yes, that didn't really work. Now, enjoy the pay-per-view, and till next time, YouTubers, take it easy.